time. He did. Not one of those quick and easy ones, like an execution or a fall down the stairs break your neck. Not long, overall. I mean, in a lifetime, a year out of 70. But a long time he was there every day.
Here for all of it?
Scrubbing the steps outside, all those visitors tracking in mud, cooking soup, washing him when he couldn't mix the toilet himself. I didn't sign up for that, but the man had no family. Friends. He had friends, if you can call them that, all the day and the night. Lots of poets. I never would have let him have a room if I had known he was a poet.
He didn't tell you what he was?
He didn't, but with his hands, you know, they were all rough. He didn't talk much. He didn't speak like an educated man either. I thought he worked in a factory, maybe down by the docks. If he had a drink, it was the way a working man drinks. He went to work on Mondays and paid his rent on Fridays before he hit the bars.
You didn't know who he was?
A man who lived to be 20 years, you get a very good idea of who he was.
I mean his work.
The poems. I've been given copies of the books. You people, students, writers, you come by here and tell me the stuff I didn't know. Didn't need to know, didn't have to know.
Wally, what kind of shots are you looking for?
How's the light?
Not good, but I don't want to use a flash.
Yeah, I agree. Natural light.
No flash. Makes my eyes hurt. Washes out the faces in the pictures.
I bet people take a lot of photos here.
Oh yes, some take them themselves. I'm in a book too, you know. The man sent it to me.
What's it mean to you?
A picture of me in a book means he gave me some money to use it. Means I see myself in the postcard stands in those fancy bookstores. I get the postcards and people come here.
I know the photo you're talking about. You're holding a picture and sitting behind the bed. It's very good.
You know the photo.
But I don't know you, I know. But I like it as a record of a time, a person. I like the mystery of it.
Some mystery.
Mystery to some, pain in the ass to others. Pardon my French.
Do you ever think of taking it down, of throwing the rocks away?
No, it's a kind of conversation piece, isn't it? I don't mind doing it, but the city's after me. The developers, they want to buy me out or throw me out. The Hysterical Society came by, said something about it's a landmark. You have to pay people to make your place hysterical.
I bet you get quite a lot of money from the developers.
It's my house. I say who stays, who goes.
He stayed for 20 years.
He was a good tenant, reliable. I liked having a man around.
Was he your lover?
Keep a civil tongue in your head, young man, or I'll throw you down the front steps.
Wally?
I was married for 46 years. My husband's grandfather built this house. He was a sea captain. By the time my husband came along, there was no money and all they had left was the house. We let the rooms be steady. Single men and women didn't entertain. I earned my living by sweat of my brow, young man. In those days when you were married, you took it serious and you stayed married.
Not everyone.
Oh, I'm not talking about your high society types, the debutante and the man around town. When you were poor, you stayed married. It wasn't that good looking a man anyway. Sometimes he went with a girl for a little while, but he wasn't really interested in gallivanting or being married. He came home, spent most of his time in his room, writing, smoking. That's what did him in.
The writing?
The smoking.
Was that why we came down here?
You got that right. Me and my legs could make it up 3 flights when he got sick. He was very polite, didn't complain, didn't ask me to bring him his food. But I figured if no one took care of him, he'd end up in a charity ward. None of his friends was in the spring for a doctor or a fancy sanitarium.
He had family.
I know that.
Told you?
Some, he told me, some I figured from what he left out.
The family, you know, had money.
There seemed to be some bad blood.
Thinner than water.
What's that?
As opposed to thicker than water.
Wally, you're being a jerk.
Shut up, Clara!
Are you two youngsters related? You bear a resemblance.
He's my brother.
Same mother.
You're his boy.
Hi, Bird.
Can't say I see much in common.
No, nothing in common.
You didn't have to come.
How I expected. Rocks! Damn rocks!
Watch your mouth, young man.
Why the rocks?
It's a Jewish custom, so I'm told. You leave a pebble on the grave of the deceased to show you visited.
He wasn't Jewish.
But one of his friends was. The city took the body right away, didn't want a funeral, made arrangements to be cremated. The one guy, Izzy Noel they called him, was busted into tears when he got here and heard about the bed with no one in it. He ran out and grabbed a rock from the pile and there was cave in the street and brought it back. I said, "Don't you put a rock on my coverlet," but he said it's to show respect. He got out of hand right away. Then all the others came. His friends, his drinking buddies, editors, lawyers, people in suits and ties I didn't know. They all had piles of rocks, gave one to everyone who came in. Now, well, it's a room full of rocks. Sometimes the tourists come, making a big production of putting one on, all weeping and wailing, reciting his poems.
Did you put one on?
Of course I did. Respect.
I have no respect for him.
I think he wanted to. He was going to get in touch when Unity was up.
Then why didn't he?
He thought about it a lot and decided that leaving you alone was going to hurt you less.
He was never there.
I think he thought there was always a time to get back to you.
I'd like to ask him first.
He asked where you were.
Could have come.
I would have called if I knew where you were, who you were.
What did he want?
Well, he didn't want to die. He was very clear on that. But once I found him, the tears running down his face, and he said to me, Maisie, I have my poems in my books, but I traded all to die at home, in bed, with my family around me. I think I'm going to be a long time lonely after this. I would like a chance to talk to them. I asked him if he wanted me to call anyone. He said, tomorrow, Maisie. Yes, I think tomorrow. Well, that time there wasn't a tomorrow.
I would have come.
He asked where you were.
You should know.
Young man, that wasn't your fault. It was his, and he was sorry.
Do you want to go, Wally?
Right here? You got his bed?
I changed the sheets, made it up again. I'm sorry, young man. It must be hard to miss a man so completely.
Wally, you have a family.
Seems like you have a good sister.
And a good mother. And a good father.
Can you live with that, Wally?
Well, I guess I have to, don't I? There's really nothing I can do about it.
Sometimes when they come, they don't have a rock, so I keep them around.
May I?
Why, Claire?
For respect.
Respect for who?
For my brother's father? If not for him, I wouldn't have you.
I have another one.
Yeah? I think we can go now. Thank you for your courtesy, Mr. Perry.
He would have been pleased that you came.
Do you think I needed to know him?
I think that's what you need to find out. If you want to come back, I'll be here.